These protests may look sudden, but they are the latest chapter in a long story of resistance. To understand why Iran keeps returning to the streets, we have to go back decades. Moments that turned Iran's streets into its loudest political voice. Let's put that out first and foremost in terms of where all it happened. First up, in 1979, of course, is when the Islamic Revolution took place, where about 2,000 to 3,000 people were killed and thousands were detained. But that's just one aspect of Iran's protest culture. In 1999, there was a student uprising that took place where about 4 protesters were killed. Anywhere between 1,200 to 1,400 people were detained. Remember, a lot of these statistics, one has to rely on reports because Iran is not open to global media the way other countries are. In 2009 was the Green Movement, where over 100 people were dead and 4,000 people were detained. These are again reports that came in that happened in 2009. In 2019 is when there was a fresh revolt that took place. 300 people were killed that time. Over 7,000 people were detained. Then comes the 2022 inflection point, the anti-hijab protest that rocked Iran, where about 500 people were killed, 20,000 were detained, when women came out and said that they cannot be told how they should wear their hair. But it didn't stop there. Now these protests that are engulfing Iran, 111 cities are now under Iran's protests in some form or the other, where 34 people have been killed till now and about 2,000 people on the upper end of the average of the data that we have been detained so far, even as the protest continues and spreads across the country. Now, if you take off your blinkers to understand what really is happening, this time these protest viewers are different. When there's no food on the table, when inflation is 45%, when the currency has a run, then ideology takes a back seat. No amount of policing can hold back a people that are struggling for 2 meals on the table for themselves and their family. And what's the Ayatollah Khomeini regime bothered about? How women are wearing their hair. But that doesn't matter this time around anymore, because even the most ardent supporters of Khomeini are now backing these protests. Those who weren't doing so in 2022 are joining on the streets. Take a look, some of those videos that are coming in that tell you exactly how women, even the most conservative ones, are now part of this. And let's be clear, this will not end suddenly. There will be bloodshed, possibly more than the one that the world saw during the anti-hijab protests in 2019, when estimates were much higher than what the official data suggests. But the number this time could be higher. And let's remember, there are 2 variables to how this may end. The first and most important variable is when and in what form Donald Trump's administration will intervene into what's happening in Iran. And the second important variable is that the clarion call may have been given by Raza Pahlavi, where thousands took to streets. But the larger question is, do Iranians want to return to monarchy, or do they now want a democratic republic where they have a say in how their country is governed? And that will dictate which way Iran goes from here.